Hey guys, I'm Sean Hammond with PremierGuitar.com, and we're at Winter NAMM 2014 talking to James from Sonuus. James,
good to
how's
see
it
you.
going, man?
Yeah, good to see you again, Sean.
Yeah, you too. Now, you guys have a new pedal down here. It's the Volume.
That's correct, yeah, the Sonuus Volume. It's more than a volume pedal, like our Wahoo pedal that's way more than a wah and filter pedal. The Sonuus Volume gives you all the volume-based effects for guitar and bass. You've got a gate, compressor, a dual LFO tremolo, volume effects, and also a limiter. It's a high-quality analog signal path that's digitally controlled, so you can save presets, you can control things via MIDI, USB. We've got a desktop editor, so you can graphically configure the effects. So it takes all these effects and takes them beyond the standard effects that are out there just now.
Now, it's also got has software that comes with it, an editor, so that you can visually program presets like the curve of things, and explain that a little bit.
Yeah, sure. It works on the Mac and PC, connects via USB. It's a free download from our website, and essentially it makes this analog effect look like a plugin. So you can edit it just like you would edit a normal plugin. Very graphical, easy to tweak. Gives you all the metering as well, input metering, compression metering, all that kind of thing.
So if you, like you were showing us earlier, how you could, when you had the editor hooked up, you could alter the pedal to change the curve of
the compressor.
Yeah,
right.
Obviously, that's a lot more handy than trying to gauge how your ankle is, where your foot is. It's not the most sensitive part of your body. So tell us a little bit more about other things you can do with the editor.
Yes, well, as you can see on the panel, you can configure all of the effects on the front panel. The editor just makes it very easy to configure what's going on, lets you see things like the compression curve, lets you see, for example, on the gates, you can set a very hard knee or a very soft knee on the gate, vary the attack and release times on that to make it as transparent as you want, and that gives you a nice graphical, visual representation of what's going on. And people understand compression curves and expander curves from using all these plugins, so it just makes it intuitive to see exactly what's going on inside this analog compressor.
Okay. You got some serious LED action going on there. Epileptics beware.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, that's showing the tremolo, and it's a pedal controlled tremolo, and I can slow it down. Like that. And you can also do things like kill switch like effects. So, like that, and you can see the LEDs just showing what's happening in the volume. As just a volume pedal, that then shows what the volume level is.
So when you were tapping that switch, you were setting a tempo?
No, I've configured it just so I can flip through the presets. So if I press it in toe down position, I can flip up the presets, or put the pedal in heel down position and I can flip down the presets. So I can show you, for example, the pedal control compressor that we're talking about. So I've just configured a low setting, and low corresponds to heel down, and this gives very gentle compression. Toe down, it comes much more extreme. I'm playing very gently and very hard. You see it's evening everything out compared to this. Ride it and have it anywhere you want it to be, and you can make that as extreme or as subtle as you like. You can go from just a very gentle compression to just slightly more extreme, and just depending on the song.
So is the small foot switch like a dual function, like you can bypass the whole unit and take it out of its true bypass, or you can hit it quicker to move the presets? Or?
Yes, that's exactly it. You do essentially a long press on the pedal will switch it in and out of preset mode, and you can configure on the editor how long this is, now half a second, 2 seconds, whatever.
Oh, you can control how long you have to hold it down to bypass it.
Exactly, and there's various ways to enable the effect. I can turn it off like that and turn it on, or you can use a pedal to turn it on like that as you move it back and forward. So there's various ways to do it depending on how you want to use it, how you want to change presets.
Okay.
You were asking about true bypass. It is true bypass. It uses our transparent true bypass switching circuitry we've developed, the same that's on the Wahoo. So there's no sort of big thunks when you switch over. But you can also use it as a buffered bypass. As I said, it's a very high quality analog signal path.
Okay.
So you get very seamless changes across the effects. So if you've got a tremolo going on, it will smoothly come in and out. with a buffered bypass. So sometimes buffered bypass can be advantageous, and sometimes
Right.
you want true bypass. So you just choose.
Okay, now did we talk about all the buttons down there and everything, the little black push buttons?
We didn't know. I can show you. Essentially, what you do is this lets you change. It's locked, so unlock it. It's locked so that you can't change presets by mistake.
So what are you using back there?
The lock switch there, and that should unlock it.
So if you're on a gig, whenever you're going to lock it,
So, someone comes on and trips on it or presses it by mistake, it doesn't mess up your presets.
and you've even got the roll bars to help with that.
Bars, yeah, so you can't stand on it exactly, and it's a high quality rotary encoder with a metal shaft and things as well to make it strong, but just in case. So basically, you just press around to select an effect. So if you say volume, for example, to enable it, just enable the effect, and this becomes a volume knob, and I just set the dB level. So if you want like a 6 dB booster pedal, you just set it to +6.
How many dBs can it go up?
It can go up to +40 and
wow.
-99. So like full cut to just huge amounts of gain.
Okay.
If you want to make this a volume pedal so it actually does something, just enable pedal control, and you set a high dB and a low dB. So if I want to fade from nominal level of 0 down to say something like that, then that lets you fade up in and out between that level. You can also do things, make it MIDI controlled, which a MIDI controller does that pedal control for you. You can also set up fades. So if I stick this onto fade, turn fade on, and then set a time, so say 2 seconds, this becomes a switch, so I get a nice smooth fade. So.
Okay, so that sort of explains why you've got these LEDs right here for the curve, because obviously unless you like your nerves in your body are all shot, you know where you've got the pedal when your foot's on it, but when you got the fade thing, it's showing you when it's coming.
When it's bypassed as well, it still shows you where you are.
Yeah.
So you know when you turn it on, you know what level you're going to get from it. But we can also do things like we can make it envelope controlled, and when it's envelope controlled, you get an ADSR curve, so you can turn it on. And if I slow down the attack on that, get a longer attack, you get it swell up. Configure it to get more synth-like sounds from it, and you can see there I've actually got the compressor still on as well, so all the effects can be enabled at once. Okay. And things like envelope control is not affected by the compressor because it takes the signal level from the input of the signal chain, so it doesn't matter whether the gate's effective or the compressor's effective. Envelope control of the tremolo and the volume and things like that don't affect or are not affected by the compressor. And even things like the limiter can just be set just because it's got so much gain and such high headroom. You might not want a 20 dBu signal going into another effect, so you can just enable the limiter to clamp it. But you can also use that like an effect as well. And the limiter, for example, you can set a high and low limit on the dBu, so you can ride that with the pedal and sort of move the limiter in and out. You can also change the symmetry of the limiter, so you can add asymmetric clipping, again by pedal control or envelope control, to make the limiter respond to envelope, to get almost like tube emulation, I suppose, on it. So yeah, it's highly configurable.
Very cool. Now, did we hear the LFO sound?
Yes, that was the thing I played at the start. There's a few LFO sounds. If I press and hold save, it will cancel what I've just done, and it'll take me back to editing. So that the first one was the pedal controlled LFO that changes the speed. This one is envelope based, so it decays with amplitude.
And then this will change the rate?
No, it's
at this point it's not.
It's envelope controlled, so it's following as it decays, and you can adjust the sensitivity of that too.
So how much is this going for?
It's going to be $319 US, and it should be
$319.
Yeah, and it should be available probably sort of March or April time.
All right. Where can people go online to find out more about this and the other stuff you guys do?
Just go to our website. It's www.sonus.com.
Cool. Thanks, James.
That's great.
I'm Sean Hammond with PremierGuitar.com. Thanks for watching.